What is the message in art in real time? What can only be felt and not? AI is it good for the art world, bad for it, or just like something natural, something we can't avoid anymore?
They don't want to have so much technology. They are going back a little bit to the times of their grandparents. Don't think about money. Buy artworks because you love them.
Hello, Sonia.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. Today we're joined by curator, advisor, and collector Sonia Borrell. Sonia, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you, Daniela, for inviting me.
yes,
It's a
I'm
pleasure to be here.
part of Elisium Art. I'm currently working on the Curator Spotlight Series, and today's interview is dedicated to your journey, your philosophy, and your vision for the future of art.
Thank you.
I would love to start with your personal journey. And the first question would be, how did it all start for you? Like, what drew you to become a curator, advisor, and collector? I know that it all started in around 2007 with Spanish artists. Then that collection evolved to street art. And after COVID, you started collecting from Asian artists, right?
That's correct. So
Yeah.
everything started very naturally, really.
Hmm.
So when I was young, I loved everything that was related to art. And I always visited a lot of museums and exhibitions in galleries with my family. Then, when I started my collection, I was very proud of it. And I was inviting my friends to come for dinner or to see the collection at home. And then some people got curious into, oh, what do you do? How do you collect? And what is to collect? And things like that. Then I started advising some of my friends because they like what I collected. And they told me, oh, where did you buy this? And how, can you help me to get one for my house? I would like to have one, things like that. Then from that moment, I continued for a long time, for many years, but this was more like a hobby, you know? Then around 2018, I sold my business in real estate and I decided I wanted to be in art permanent. Like I wanted my hobby to become my work.
Hmm.
Then I started like dedicating like 8 to 12 hours a day, like doing research. I mean, I didn't want to have a gallery, but I wanted to be connected to people. I'm very sociable. I wanted to be in art. And
Hmm.
I knew that many people like what I had. So I thought maybe I can be an advisor for, and then I started with friends, with
Hmm.
family. Then I created my Instagram account. I didn't have Instagram account until 2019 because
Hmm.
I thought I didn't have anything to explain.
Hmm.
Then at the beginning, I created with some of my trips when we went to West Bank and saw the Banksy Hotel because I was very much into street art. But then rapidly everything collapsed with the COVID. And then I couldn't travel or go to visit museums or anything. So I went more into research online.
Hmm.
So I was researching online and I discovered pop surrealism, that there were a lot of artists from Asia that they were really, really interesting. Then I started collecting artists from Asia, sharing with my contacts. At the beginning, I had a blog,
Hmm.
and some people of my contacts they were reading the blog, and then they wanted to buy the same style of artworks. Then I helped them. I was starting building collection from places like some of my first clients. They were like from China, from Saudi Arabia, from Spain, from the US, from different places. And I love to do it, you know, because it's like for me, I collect for love and to be able to help people to build their collections with the
Hmm.
same style and doing what I love is like, come on, this is my dream.
Yeah,
So
that's
everything started like this. And then some of my collectors' friends offered me to work with them. So then it was when we built Arcala in Saudi Arabia, the advisory, and we built Arbelina in China.
hmm.
Now I'm working very immersive in projects in China.
Hmm.
We did this summer an exhibition at the SWC, it's called the Sea World Culture Art Center. It's a public museum in Shenzhen with 35 artists. It was super successful. People loved it. And it was shared very viral on the Red Note, that is like the Instagram for China. We
Mm-hmm.
had 40 million impressions
Oh,
on the exhibition. It was really, really viral. And now I'm working on other projects that for the moment they have not been announced. But yeah, I love what I do. And when things come along and I like them, I take them. Why
yeah.
not? It's a challenge. And yeah, I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And it's really nice that like from early on you had the support from your family and the friends, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
just hmm and from your point of view, what responsibilities do curators and advisors hold toward artists, like beyond the selection and representation?
Yeah, it's a very big responsibility because I mentor a lot of artists and I represent many artists, not exclusively, but in non-exclusive with non-exclusive agreements.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the most important thing is to find the best artwork for every collector. So I
Mm-hmm.
need to work all the time talking to a lot of the artists, seeing that what are they evolving into, what they are creating, all the new things they are doing to see if any of my inquiries from one side, they can fit the creations of the artists on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I never rush the collectors into buying. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very much like a non-economical, let's say, advisor because I understand that when you buy artworks, you need to love them, you know? And what you don't want is to buy an artwork, hang it in your living room, and after 1 year or 2 years, the artwork is not worth more, maybe it's worth half, and you
Mm-hmm.
hate it. So then it's like a lose-lose situation. So it's very, very important to communicate well with your clients and only sell them things that you think that they are really going to love, you know? And for the artists, it's very important that they stay truth to themselves, because
Mm-hmm.
if they don't create from their heart and they don't create in a really, really how do I say, not philanthropic way, but they have to be really faithful to their beliefs, to their style. It's easy for some advisors to corrupt artists and tell them to paint things that in reality is not what they want to do.
Yeah.
And maybe they will do it for money. In this case, normally it doesn't really work because you can feel when you look at the artworks if the artist was creating with a purpose, with their heart, putting all their soul in there, or it was like a kind of order. I mean, I think it's very, very important to navigate the art world like with a balance
Mm-hmm.
and trying to find the best fit. It's like an adoption. I always think that it's like an adoption, you know? So this collector family or this collector is going to adopt the baby from this artist, you know? And they're going to love it. And then they will stay very, very faithful to this artist and they will always be part of their life, you know? So this is my philosophy.
Yeah, can't agree more. I love your philosophy. Um, and if we change the topic and we dip into the technologies nowadays, and you know how like nowadays AI is a part of our lives, and AI is becoming a big part of the art world industry and curator's authentication and even making art. So do you think AI is a good for the art world, bad for it, or just like something natural, something we can't avoid anymore?
I think at this point we can't avoid it,
Mm-hmm.
but artificial intelligence has to be a tool for everyone, including artists,
Mm-hmm.
to figure out how can they improve. No, for instance, when you are writing a letter or an email and you are not sure of some sentences,
Yeah.
maybe you put them through ChatGPT and gives you a suggestion, synonyms, a better structured sentence. You know. So for artists, it's the same. You can even use Nano Banana and introduce your artwork on the Flash 2.5, for instance, you know? And they could give you ideas on how to evolve your art. But in the end, you are the artist. You need to write the prompt. You need to decide on the final product.
Mm-hmm.
And digital art, unfortunately, is not very mainstream at the moment because, the new generation now, they don't want to have so much technology. They are going back a little bit to the times of their grandparents. For instance,
Yeah.
they are back to reading books in paper. They
Yeah.
are back to vintage cars. They liked the smell of a canvas. For instance, for me, art, I need to touch it. I need to smell it, you know? I love the smell of the paint. I
Mm-hmm.
like to look at how it looks like from different angles. And with digital art, this is difficult. It's more impersonal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say it's good or bad, but my opinion in art is that I prefer things that have been creating with the hands of the
Mm-hmm.
artist, ceramics or sculptures or anything. But of course, it can have like a background of
Mm-hmm.
certain prompts to give ideas or to help the artist to evolve. Why
Mm-hmm.
not? I think we need to use all the elements we can to get better. And let's see what happens in the future.
Let's see. And what do you think, like, in the case of Elisium Art, at Elisium Art, we're a commercial digital platform, but we strongly believe in the ethical artist support and the community building. How can a platform like ours adopt community-driven and like collaborative values without compromising commercial sustainability?
Yeah. I mean, artists, they really need to sustain themselves. So they need to find a way how to maximize their profits because, I mean, when they choose the profession of being an artist, it's because they really feel in their heart that they want to be an artist. And it's very, very difficult to be able to reach certain level that you enter galleries.
Mhm.
So I see Elysium Art like a good platform for artists to show themselves, to show their artworks, and to reach a wider audience while they are waiting to enter more like important galleries that they represent them, you know. I
Mhm.
think, for instance, I read in your web that as well you go to some art fairs to promote the artists. And I think it's very important at least once or twice a year to organize certain events or attend some art fairs so your collector base can go in person and see the real works because as you know it's not the same see the artwork or on a screen on a computer or experience the art in person. The art in person is like 100% stronger than anything you can see on a platform. So normally if you see it in a platform and the platform is realistic with what they are selling and they show true pictures, then normally you will be fine, you know. But there are certain artists, for instance, or certain platforms that sometimes they use artificial intelligence to manipulate some artworks, to give different lights, to change the brush strokes, things like this. And I
Mhm.
think in this case would not be good, you know. But if the artwork is a representation of what the artist has produced, I think it's fantastic. And I think it's important as well for to help the collector to choose an artwork. If on purpose, if the intention of the artist was to do something wrong on top of their artwork, or it was on purpose scratched, or on purpose, I don't know, spray on top, things like that. It
Mhm.
should be like a footnote or description so the collector can understand when they receive the artwork that this was done on purpose, not as a result of an accident or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to have platforms like yours
Mhm.
to give more visibility to young artists, emerging artists that they have not had the opportunity yet to enter galleries and go to Art Basel or whatever, because
Mhm.
the art world need to be more we need democratization of the art world, you know, democratize. So it's very important because now we have people that they want to enter the art world and they don't know how,
Mhm.
and maybe they don't have deep pockets, but
Yeah.
they still have like between 1,000 to 5,000 US dollar to
Mhm.
spend, and
Mhm.
they really need to have art at home because
Mhm.
when you live with art, your home becomes happier. Your emotions, um, they when you look at art, your emotions, the experience changes.
Mhm.
And it's nothing nicer and cuter than wake up in the morning, have your cup of tea or coffee, and look
Yeah.
at the artwork you bought. And you should never forget like the effort you did, because for many people that now they want to be in the art world, it's a big effort to buy an artwork for 2,000, 3,000, you know.
Mhm.
But then following some years, they will see the effort they did, how did they save, and how in the end bought this artwork. Some people buy them on loans or they pay them in installments, you know. And that's what I think that is very important, that they buy what they love and what they need to buy when it resonates with them, and according to the money and their deep pockets or less deep pockets, you know. But I never advise people to buy artworks because it's going to be a good investment in 5 years. Who knows? You know, artists, they change, fashions, they change. I don't buy for hype. Maybe I am a little bit now in the hype because it was a little bit like by accident, because I've been in art for many years. I didn't even have Instagram. Instagram maybe gave me more fame or hype, you know, but I never follow this type of hypes. I just buy what I love. And what I love the most now is artworks by Asian artists,
Mhm.
figurative, pop surrealism, and my house is all surrounded by art.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your vision. It's really inspiring, and I just love you as a person. I really admire you, and I love everything. I love your style. I love your vision. I love your philosophy. So I want to ask about more like personal experience. Like, for
Mhm.
example, in the exhibition La Vie est Belle, you brought together 25 artists
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
around the world, right? And launched Art in Real Time, the book. Could you walk us through one of the artists or works from the show? Like what stuck you about it, and like how you selected it and how you think it connected with the
Yeah.
audience?
So when we started about organizing the exhibition, everything was that I wrote this book with my son Alex
Mm-hmm.
because we had so many friends and family that they wanted to know more about the art world. And Alex, for instance, was calling me many times from Spain saying, "Hey, can you talk to these friends or these other friends and explain about this, how the art world it works and things like that?" Many people from IE University, for instance, you know, in Madrid or in Segovia. Then I asked for help because English is not my first language, but it's his first language. And I
Mm-hmm.
asked him if he will write the book with me. And then he said, "Okay, but you write it, start writing, and then I will tell you my opinion if the writing is correct or not." Then when I was start writing, I realized that my writing was too difficult for most of my audience, you know. And then
Mm-hmm.
Alexander took me down, and it was a big process, you know. So then we decided, okay, Alexander was working with me at that time and another guy as well. And we decided that La Vie Belle, the exhibition, will represent the way that we collect. Will
Mm-hmm.
represent the emerging artists that we collect, that we love,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to be as close as possible as the descriptions in the book, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So we created this exhibition, and one of the walls was full of artworks, like it will be in my house, like almost touching each other, you know, from different styles. It was
Mm-hmm.
very cute. One of the artists that I think is worth to mention is Spanish artist Pedro Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Pedro is an artist from Malaga. He's a young guy, I think he's around 26-year old. He started painting surrealism with a big influence from Jerónimos Bosch, Dali, and these
Mm-hmm.
ones, they are some of my favorite artists in the world, you know? So I invited him with 3 artworks. Normally, the rest of the artists, they had 1 or 2 artworks. Many, they had 2. But Pedro, I thought was so relevant that I wanted to have 3 artworks.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent 3 artworks for the exhibition. They were sold immediately. It was like, but many others, they were sold immediately as well. I think 85% of the exhibition was sold in 1 week. So it was very, very successful. But what I wanted to say with that, what I saw in Pedro was a young spirit, truth to himself, very, very much believing in himself. And his attitude was he believes the artist in himself. He
Mm-hmm.
behaves like an artist, he talks like an artist. When you see his artworks, is him, is Pedro. So when I invited many of the artists to be there in the exhibition, and Pedro was one of the ones that came together with Tania Marmolejo, with some others, you know, we had like 5 artists. We did as well some like competitions of drawings, and they were
Mm-hmm.
exchanging the drawings between the artists. We did live painting. It was incredible. We invited some VIPs for the live painting in the secret location. It was
Mm-hmm.
very, very cool, you know. But then all of a sudden, after like 3 or 4 days, we saw people were coming back that they wanted artworks from Pedro, you know. Oh, Pedro. We're like, what's going on here, you know? And they have seen many people, his artworks on Instagram, or people that they came and they came back with someone, or they talked to someone that came to Paris for Art Basel. So thanks to that exhibition, he got a solo show in Paris the following February. And we created such a waiting list that all the artworks were sold out in the first 24 hours of the exhibition. It
Insane.
was fantastic, you know? So when I work in a project, for me, it's very important not to do one thing. It's like, it was the right week, Art Basel Paris. Art Basel Paris had opened in the Grand Palais, that is like a fantastic space. Beside the gallery we curated the space, there was Galleries Barrow, is beside Avenue Matignon. That is like the best areas with all the best galleries in Paris are, you know? Then the artists came, we gave them a voice. So when the gallery was full of people, because for like 3 days was full, super crowded, we didn't even have space inside, people had to queue outside. The artists had a voice and could present their artworks in person. And this, I must admit as well, it sells a lot. When the artist talks about his work or her work and explains their inspirations, how they felt while they were creating them, the collectors get really touched, you know? And yeah, it was super successful, but it was like, it was not by chance that everything went well. Everything was like, okay, the right week, the right location, the right artist, the right invitations, and then everything together. I always believe that collaborating with artists, collaborating with galleries, collaborating with many people is always a win-win for everyone. I love collaborations, you know? We had many galleries collaborating in China. Now in the exhibition we did in the summer, we had a lot of collaborations of different galleries as well in Paris. And if you can invite the artists and give them a voice, and you can invite collectors and let them experience the art, is where the real things happening. That's why my book is called Art in Real Time,
Yeah.
because it's where the art is happening on that moment, and you are a witness of that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like this.
Yeah. And it's really, I think it's really great bonding between you and your son when you were both writing this book together. And maybe you could answer, like, a lot of people like talk about books in terms of like information, like what we learn, what we discover, what ideas we take away, but often, especially in art, there's something much deeper than what's written, something like emotional, something between the line, and readers will see the words on the page, but what is the message in art in real time? What can only be felt and not read?
Yeah. I think the people, when they read the book, they really know me, the way I think, and they know that I only collect for love, and I'm very faithful to my artist. And I don't care if they tell me, Sonia, buy this artwork, and in 5 years it will be worth 5 times more. But if I don't like it, I will never buy it, even if it's like they give me 50% discount, because I think you can't measure art with money. You can measure art more with emotions, I think.
Yes, yes, agree fully. And talking about emotions, you've spoken about how you instantly know when an artwork speaks to you. Like, are there specific things that you really highlight for yourself? Do you remember the first time maybe you felt that physically, where you were, or like what you saw and how you knew? I would love to hear about that experience.
Yes, normally when I visit an exhibition in a museum or in a gallery, many times I go with people. I go with people in my family or friends, right? And everybody starts reading the curatorial and going around like in order. I never do that. Okay. I enter the room, I look around, I take my time, 1 minute, 2 minutes. There is always one artwork that is calling me strongly. So I go directly to that artwork. I look at the artwork and analyze. I look at the light. I read a little bit if there is any information about the artwork, you know? And that artwork is the one that for me is the one speaking to me. For instance, when I was, I think it was like 2006 to 2007, it was at the beginning of collecting, that it was just a hobby. I went to an exhibition in Costa Brava, and it was some artworks really baroccos from Miguel Macaya. And one of the artworks was a horse, okay? And then I was walking around, and they had different artists, you know? I was walking around, and all of a sudden this horse that has a special eye is looking at me, you know? And then I pass by and I'm like, okay, is this guy, is like this horse talking to me, you know? And then I come back, I started looking at the eyes, and then I started looking from different angles, and I was like, wow, it's like it's giving me a message. I really need to have this artwork. And I bought it, and I still have it. And I have it in my home in London. It's very special. It's like black background, and it's a white horse. And in the eye, it has like a tear. I don't know, it's like a special texture in the eye that when you pass by, you feel that it's always looking at you. It's very, very strange. And it's very different the style that I will buy now. But I don't know. It gave me a vibe. And still, I never sell the artworks I have, you know? Because what I like is to experience my periods of life through my collection.
Yeah.
So for me, it's very important not to sell the artworks, because if not, it's like I disconnect with part of my past. So I like when I'm happy or sad or in different moments of my life to go through the different artworks I have in the different homes and see, wow, you know, and sometimes I can't have them all hanging at the same time, but I have like a storage room, and every 6 months I move artworks around because I like to move them around and see the different vibes of different artworks in different rooms. I think it's very cool.
Yeah. And right now, do you have any like specific style that you like? The
Yes,
specific.
now very colorful. I love Takashi Murakami. Probably you know if you have seen my Instagram. I love this guy. I love Mr. He's from Japan as well. I love Yoshitomo Nara. I'm very fond of Japanese artists. I think they are fantastic. I really feel very connected. And I have been in Japan in the last 2 years, 2 times. And it's very, very, very good. I went to the closing ceremony of Takashi Murakami at the Kyocera Museum in Tokyo. Sorry, in Kyoto, because we had lent 2 hours there. And I mean, I was 4 days in Kyoto and I went 4 days to the exhibition. It was fantastic. I could spend the whole day. When I like the art, I never want to leave. Last year, we went to the Guggenheim to see the exhibition in Bilbao from Yoshitomo Nara.
Yes.
And they almost had to kick me out because it was like, okay, we are closing. I was like, oh no, you know, I don't want to leave.
Great.
I don't
So
know. It's like I feel like at home, you know?
so I think love and passion drives you. But like, if you could talk to the Sonia who was just starting, what would you tell her? Maybe some advices. I think you're just like going with love and passion, and that's the most important.
Yes, go with love and passion. And if I would have had my book 20 years ago or 17 years ago, it would have helped a lot because I did a lot of mistakes as well. And I learned by doing mistakes. And if I will have had my book, I will have avoided some of the mistakes. And I mean, I don't say it's bad to do mistakes because you learn by yourself, you know, but I wish some people will have explained me certain rules from the art world, and I will not have believed so much words from people that they make you to believe that art is pure investment and art is only for rich and art is only for the people that have deep pockets, because this is completely nonsense. And art is for everyone. Art needs to be inclusive. Everybody deserves to be part of the art world. And I think when you live with artworks in your walls, you feel more connected to reality and you express more emotions. And art, there are a lot of studies that they have demonstrated when you live with art, your arterial pressure goes down, your mental well-being is better. And people that live with art, they are happier because as well they have a hobby. We live in a society, there is a lot of loneliness at the moment. And if you have artworks and plants, you are never alone because you always can go to museums like or exhibitions in galleries. Most of the museums in the world, they are free.
Yeah.
All the galleries are free to enter. So you will always have a plan and you will meet new friends and new companions from the art world. I have a lot of friends I made over the years in the art world, and they have like they come from different walks of life, they have different ages, but we have something in common. We like a particular artist, you know?
Yeah.
And then you meet them again in exhibitions or you talk to them on Instagram. I think is very, very nice.
Yeah, great. And I would love to close our interview with rapid fire questions.
Mhm.
Questions that I prepared. So my first question would be, if you could collect one artist you don't own yet, who would it be?
Even if it's impossible.
Even if it's
Yeah.
super.
If you tell me which artwork you will love to have and
Yeah.
you know that it's impossible,
Yeah.
I will collect the Garden of Earthly Delights from Hieronymus Bosch. Yeah. And you know, when I go to Madrid, every trip to Madrid, I need to go and see it.
Yeah.
I have too many questions to the artist about this artwork.
Yeah. And artists you would love to have dinner with, like living or dead?
I would love to have dinner with Salvador Dali.
Salvador. Yeah.
Yeah. Very eccentric.
Mhm.
And I think I grew up because I'm from Barcelona, and my family, there are some people from Costa Brava, my grandparents.
Mm.
So I feel like a close connection with Salvador Dali. I would have loved to be in a dinner with him.
Great. And okay, favorite museum, maybe in Spain or just overall around the world?
I have several museums that are favorites, but I think my favorite museum is the Met in New York.
Uh-huh.
In London, Courtauld Institute of Art is fantastic because I love the Impressionism, and one of the works there, that is the Déjeuner sur l'herbe from Manet, is there. And the big one is in Paris, but he did like a small one, like a work, and is there. And I love it. I love the Thyssen Museum in Madrid and El Prado as well. But I think if I only could choose one museum in the world, I will choose the Met in New York.
Okay, nice selection. I love it.
Thank you.
What city what city gives you the most creative energy?
Paris.
Paris.
The light in Paris, not when it's like cloudy and you know, but if you get like a bright sunny day in Paris, I think it's the most inspiring city in the world for art, and it has incredible museums, you can do incredible walks, and they are very much pioneers in Europe for Asian art. So I think at this moment is my favorite place to get inspired for art.
Yeah, I would definitely also choose Paris because I love to do solo trips, and my first city was Paris to introduce art for myself.
Yeah. So it's fantastic choice. Yeah.
And the last question is, if curating had a one-word emotion for you, what would it be?
Love. Curate out of love, collect out of love. And don't think about money, not because you buy an artwork that costs $100,000, you are going to make it and you are going to be able to sell it. So don't buy for speculation. Buy artworks because you love them.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Thank you. And this was genuinely inspiring and very grateful. I'm so grateful for your time and openness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniela. It was lovely to be here in your podcast. And I hope I see you soon, and very good luck in the future.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.